He's the YouTube marketing maven and also the influencer of estates. It's YouTube's hottest estate influencer, Erik Conover. Hey, Erik.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I love the suit today. Yes.
Thank you. I had a showing right before this.
Oh, so it's not for me?
I mean, I kept it on.
Erik, I was just like marveling at everything you've done. You have to start the show by telling us, how did you meet your fiance?
So Hannah and I met just about 2.5, almost 2 3/4 years ago at a coffee shop.
At a coffee shop?
We met at a coffee shop. It's also very interesting to meet in the real world, especially nowadays. Everything is it's digital. And we met at a coffee shop, Think Coffee, at Hudson Yards.
That's adorable. Like you guys mixed up each other's coffees? Or
I pulled up on my bike. I mean, I saw her walking in, and I had pulled up on my bike, and I at the time I was riding my bike all around the city. That was my thing. And I'll never forget, she called me a hipster. And that was kind of the intro. And from there, it just, I mean, here we are now.
And you guys both have these crazy body yadis, which you work on so hard, but she's also with Nest Seekers, so it's really a real estate love story, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky to have found someone who shares my interests, who I can work with, and then also share a relationship with. It's very rare to have that dynamic. We have such a dynamic where we ping pong off each other ideas, and it just works.
Well, do you guys ever, you started a YouTube channel of your own, Erik and Hanna. What can we expect from this YouTube channel?
You know, that's interesting. The second channel we started just as a way to have memories. There was no agenda or anything, and, you know, even we'll post on it maybe 4 videos in a row and then not post for 2 months. So that's kind of just a fun place to share memories, essentially. But
you did post your proposal.
Yes.
Which happened in Joshua Tree. And did you think she had any clue?
I mean, so when the pandemic happened, I had planned on doing it in New York, right near the coffee shop where we met on the High Line. And then the pandemic happened, and we were moving all around, and I had gotten the ring. I had Hannah involved in picking out the ring because it is such an important thing, and she had a very specific idea in mind. So she knew essentially the style of the ring, but had no idea when it was going to happen, where it was going to happen. I didn't even really plan it. I just kind of had a gut feeling. I kept it in my my hiking boot, actually, the ring. I put it in my boot for safekeeping, and I was picking up some dinner. I just felt that it was time, and yeah, I set up some cameras. And what was that?
How are you going to get married in the pandemic? You just going to wait till it's over?
TBD. Not planning a single thing.
TBD. All right. Well, you're the king of YouTube. We call you the YouTube marketing maven and an influencer of estates. That's our moniker for you. What's the #1 mistake? I know you can't get into all the details of YouTube, but what's the #1 mistake you see agents do on YouTube where they're trying to create content?
It's interesting because I come from a very different position. My bread and butter essentially is video editing and filming. By nature, I'm an editor and a videographer. That's what I learned as my skill set. And I think a lot of agents, especially now, because there is such a genre, we were essentially first to this genre and created it. A lot of people are just trying to replicate and just trying to turn out content rather than just doing something that's very authentic.
Very authentic. We're getting some questions in the comment section. Would you like to take a question?
Yeah, sure.
Someone says, is New York City a good place to move? Well, of course.
It is. Most definitely it is. I moved back to go to a place in Soho. The city has changed, but I still believe that that energy is there. I believe it is that place where you can make anything happen. I moved here 7 years ago, broke, out of college, and I made it work.
You did make it work. New York, I think, is much harder to live in than LA. You can kind of fake your way through LA.
Yeah, it's night and day. You have to really, really want to be here to make it work. I'm talking, you have to just essentially eat dirt. If you don't have any means of, people helping you out, you just have to put in the work. There's no really shortcut to that.
Right. Someone says, but Hanna posted that you had broken up a few nights ago, and then someone else said, so Hanna and Erik did not separate. It seems like people who follow your channel are very involved in your personal life. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that just comes with the territory, putting yourself out there on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people comment in my comment section all the time. All right, well, let's hop over to some of your amazing listings, and then we're going to ask you about the Chris Hemsworth thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Real Talk with Erik Conover, the influencer of estates, and he's going to take us into his first listing, 41 Great Jones Street. It's a penthouse, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 4,500 square feet, a little over. And the audience, you're going to guess the price, and your audience is chiming in from Colombia, the UK. You've got a lot of fans around the world. So let's do this. Erik, take us inside your gorgeous listing.
Yeah, so this listing is, it's one of my favorite because it is essentially a household in the sky. I think nowadays a lot of people in the city, if you're moving back to the city, they're looking to feel like they are in a house rather than in a building with 200 other people living there, getting in an elevator with 10 other people. I really think in today's age, people are looking for that privacy in that space.
Look at that outdoor space as well in New York. That's insane.
Yeah, so this is a duplex that has actually northern exposure, southern exposure, and a rooftop. It is pretty massive. It's just about 5,400 square feet and some change. And I love the house because it feels like a home. It doesn't feel like an apartment.
And no one's got the price right in the comment section, so keep taking us through. Look at this insane staircase, a floating staircase.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bespoke finishes. The staircase is incredible. The attention to detail in every single aspect, it's twisted. And it really has that New York feeling. It has the exposed brick. It's a cast iron building. Checks all the boxes in my mind.
We've got a winner with H2GKMO.ARIG. It's 13 million without going over. Whoever gets the closest, the correct price is 13.950, which is insane in New York for all that space.
I mean, it's very interesting, especially you were mentioning Los Angeles to New York. A lot of times people do compare those cities, but you really can't. You can't compare a yard and a pool to the city, but what you're getting in the city is opportunity.
Well, H2GKMO.ARIG, why don't you DM us for your prize, which will be Frederick Eklund's book, The Cell. Have you ever read that book, Erik?
I haven't yet. I've actually been on a pretty big reading binge. I like to start every year essentially re-educating myself in certain areas in life that I feel I would like to learn more things about and just expand my my knowledge.
So were you an influencer and YouTube creator before you were an agent, or were you an agent before you were a creator?
My story is very unique. I started as a vlogger, essentially creating daily vlogs with my iPhone at first, and then I got a nicer camera. My goal was to travel. I love traveling because, my first time ever on an airplane, I was 24 years old, ever. So then from vlogs, I started doing travel guides in incredible places, like the summit of Kilimanjaro, Finland, Norway, New Zealand, just documenting all these incredible places and sharing the best things about them. And then from there, just by the fates, I segued into luxury real estate.
How? How? Because that's a weird
It's a long story. So around this time, this was 2018.
Give us the short version.
Yeah, so Ryan Serhant was looking to start a channel, and his team reached out to collaborate with New York City influencers. And I had filmed apartment tours throughout my channel. My first video ever was an apartment tour. And I met with him and his team, and I said, hey, listen, let me have access to your most expensive listing. I'll make a tour, and I can guarantee it'll do well because no one had done it. There was no one that had really pulled the curtain up inside a $20 million apartment, a $30 million apartment. So we made this video, and it exploded. It went viral. I think it has like 6 million views now. Ryan and I did a few more collabs, and then I just ran with it. We were essentially the first to do this, to bring luxury real estate to YouTube in a series.
I love that. And so somehow you then meet your fiance, who is also at Nest Seekers?
Yeah, so Hanna and I met in 2018, right around the time when I started really going all in on real estate. And Hanna has been such a massive part of building this company. Hanna is one of the most creative people I've ever met. Some of my best video concepts have come from Hanna and I sitting down and just brainstorming, like you were talking about the Chris Hemsworth collaboration. that was Hannah's
Right.
idea.
Which, by the way, perfect segue. You have to tell me, A, how you get this insane body, and B, how did you end up working out with Chris fucking Hemsworth?
You know,
Here's the
it's along
video.
the same lines
He touches
of,
you. He touched you.
yeah, we hung out for probably a solid hour and a half working out. It was pretty unique. But
That's incredible.
it's the same as how we got into luxury real estate. I think that throughout my career, I've had a very good ability to pivot and to almost, I wouldn't say change my personal brand, but to really go in on things that I think could do well and things I also enjoy. So for this, I had just went to the Philippines and got super sick. I lost a lot of muscle weight. I was very out of shape, and Hannah saw that Chris was launching an app. And I had been a fan of Chris. I mean, who isn't a fan of Chris Hemsworth, right?
Nobody.
Exactly. So I downloaded this app and I did a 30-day workout program. And essentially, I mean, I busted my ass. I was doing 2 days. I was working out 4 hours a day on a slow day, eating a ton of calories to put on muscle. And it was, to this date, that was my most genuine piece of content I've ever made, because it affected my life and it helped other people as well. And then from that video, Chris saw it, his team saw it. They loved what I was doing with the app, and they agreed to meet up and film a workout.
And isn't that how YouTube truly works? Is like, if you do something from an authentic place and you're not asking for money and you're not thinking about, oh, Chris Hemsworth is going to call me, it just may happen.
I mean, essentially, that's what I've based my entire career off of, is giving value and asking nothing in return is the largest currency you can exchange in today's day. If you're coming from a place where you just want to create something good and better yourself and hopefully it helps someone else out, that's all it takes.
So many people in the comment section are saying that they admire your work ethic. That's the 6th comment I've seen. How do you have so much discipline? Are you one of those 5 a.m. morning people?
I mean, it's been my whole life. I started swimming competitively from the time I was 12. I was a rower in college, waking up at 5 in the morning to go run outside when it's like 10 degrees in Boston. It's just kind of embedded in who I am. I need to work hard to feel good. Like, when I'm not doing anything, that's when I am at my absolute worst. I have to be constantly moving.
Oh, you're doing bear crawls right there. I saw the bear crawl.
We were doing everything: bear crawls, curls, lunges,
That's
presses.
insane. So you do this video, and this is the body yaddy that he got on vacation. I mean, 4 hours a day, I don't know.
I definitely cut back after.
Okay.
For sure. It was not sustainable. I mean, I was lucky, and I am lucky that I worked for myself and I could put that time into working out like that, but it's definitely not sustainable. It has to be a very definite goal, an endpoint, a start date, and just put in the work.
Wow, a goal-driven guy. So what is your goal for 2021? If we're talking about goals, what's your intention?
You know, that's a very good question, because I've been a very firm believer in manifesting. Every year since 2017, I've written out my goals, and I've done it sounds a bit corny, but a meditation at the start of the new year. And every single year without fail, these goals have been hit. And this year, it's been a bit different. My number one goal is to just live truthfully. That's my only resolution, to live truthfully, and the rest of the things that I want to happen in life will happen if I have that one guiding principle of just living my truth. It's a bit deep. Definitely off the topic of real estate. But
I was in a yoga class yesterday, and he said all these intentions that you're setting. My friend Tina said, you know, you really need to sit in it and understand that everything you want, you're already doing. If you want to expand, you're already in the process of that. And you have to own this moment so that you can, you know, work towards that moment and don't just live in the future in your goals.
I mean, it really is that simple as making the mindset change to do something. It's that simple.
Exactly. So what can we expect from you in the new year? I know we have another listing that you want to show as well. What can we expect? What are you looking to do? Are you going to stay in New York? Are you going to do LA videos? Are you going to expand the channel? What can we expect?
So the new year is just building out the entire team. We're expanding to Florida and California. We're going to be out in California filming a lot of cool listings, definitely down in Florida, Miami, Palm Beach, and then even Naples area. And as far as other goals, it's really just doing a few of those personal projects that really just things that excite me. Traveling, fitness challenges, things like that. There's a lot that's coming in 2021.
That's really nice. So when you say, because you make enough money from doing these videos, you don't even need to sell real estate, but you do. And we're
Yeah, I
going to
mean,
check out another.
yeah, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, you can earn a very healthy living just by being a YouTuber, and it's I'm actually going to be creating some content related to the finances of doing
Mm-hmm.
social media because I've been very fortunate, for the past 4 or 5 years to do pretty well at it.
But so as a YouTuber, is that a double-edged sword? Because we just do our Instagram show, and I don't have to give them my personal life. Your audience is invested in your personal life.
Yes and no. I made the very sharp decision to just kind of focus on real estate, and just be essentially a host. And now I really wanted to just share more of the things that actually matter to me. And that was the idea of starting the second channel and even these challenge videos that I'm talking about, things that just I care about.
So real estate, are you going to stay at Nest Seekers? Are you looking to join a different brokerage in California?
Yeah, I'm at Nest Seekers. Nest Seekers has been very, very awesome in supporting the vision and just really, really going all in what I see as the future of this industry.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another love in your life as well, Theo.
Yeah, I mean, he's sleeping right here on the floor right next to me.
If you're an influencer, you've got to get a dog. It's like clickbait. Look at this
The
dog.
thing is, though, the dog, yes, you say it's clickbait, but the dog is, I mean, he takes up hours of my day. He's a living thing. I feel like a lot of people, they get a dog and they don't realize that this is a living thing. This is a member of your family. This dog's gonna be with you for the next 12 to 13 years.
Even longer, like 15.
Longer.
They're living
Hopefully
longer, just
longer.
like people now. It's crazy. What an adorable dog. He was very small, and now he's quite large.
You want to see him? I mean, he is.
Yeah, let's show him.
Where's
Oh
he
my
at?
God. Look at your amazing apartment in New York. It's huge.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, it's a nice
Where
space.
do you live in New York? Don't give the address, but like
Yeah, I'm right, Soho, Tribeca area.
I love Tribeca. It's my favorite part of the city.
I mean, it was my dream ever since moving to the city to live in Soho, Tribeca.
You're a New Yorker. You're never gonna move out.
I mean, listen, I love the city. I'm very all or nothing. I love the city, but at the same time, I love nature. I think
Yeah.
it's very unique that we live in a world where you can have that, where you could live in a city and then go travel to Tanzania and go climb a mountain, or go to Norway and go climb a glacier. It's very unique, the position that you could be in when you do start a social media business.
Mm-hmm. You reverse engineered your career. How'd you do that?
When I first started this, I read a book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Crush It. And it's all about kind of building a business around your passion and reverse engineering, where essentially you begin with the end in mind. So I saw the value of building up a large YouTube channel, and I love design and real estate, and I just ran with it. And then when the time was right, and I met Nest Seekers and their CEO, and they really believed in the vision, that's when I got the license.
Incredible. So you got the license in October. Have you sold the listing yet?
We have one in contract, showing a ton, but still
Yes.
that first sale. I mean, that's actually one of my goals as well for the new year. Just get
Right.
that first sale.
I have my license too. It's with Hilton and
Oh yeah.
Island. One of my goals is to sell in 2021. Not that I want to be a top realtor, but just to do it.
Exactly.
Who's the top
I mean,
realtor that you want to work with that you haven't been able to?
I mean, let's see. It's interesting because the real estate world, I'm in it, but I'm not. I would definitely like to collaborate more with agents out in Los Angeles because I love the properties in LA. They're just, when people see a $20 million apartment in New York, it's hard, I think, for a lot of people to grasp why that is $20 million. Whereas in LA, you're seeing $20 million worth of land, of space, and that's very appealing.
Exactly.
And the design out there. I love modern homes. I love that modern aesthetic.
I see so many incredible homes out here, and you're right. 20 million, you would see a palatial mansion in the valley or an insane sick view house in the hills.
Exactly.
Well, Erik, that's very, very simple goal to do. All you have to do is get out to LA, and we will set you up with some of our clients for incredible property tours. How about that?